Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Gaming Quitte, the most delicious Quitte of them all, and today we're taking a look at the new Gala Dragalia remix featuring Saiga and Armored Yachiyo. Also on radar are Gala Leif and Gala Reborn Zephyr, which we will just briefly mention after the two new banner units. Let's take a look at Saiga first. As it kinda was to be expected, Saiga is a close-range wind mana caster. His first skill, Dirge Shot, is his shareable skill with a cost of 7 skill points. When you use Dirge Shot, it normally deals 5 hits of 225% damage, which means it deals 1120% damage. It also inflicts Stormlash on the enemy, and if you are close to the enemy, the user gets the enemy insight effect granted. This effect has 3 levels, and when enemy insight is on level 3 and you use this skill, the attack itself deals more damage and has increased mods against Stormlashed enemies. This does consume the enemy insight effect though, and you have to build it up again. The upgraded Dirt Shot deals 5 hits of 400% damage, which means it will now deal 2000% damage. I spoke about this skill in pretty general terms because from how I read it, this skill grants the enemy insight effect even when shared. I have this theory because usually with these kind of skills, it specifically says which version is used when shared, and in the mod preview, both versions have the skill energy required written for when it's shared. It would also explain the pretty high cost for the skill. I would have waited with this video until the units are released usually, but I don't have the time for tomorrow, so as always, if this theory turns out to be false, I will let you know in the comments below. Saiga's second skill, Karmic Quietus, Karmic Quitte, dispels a buff from multiple targets and also grants him the enemy insight effect. Each target will only be affected by the skill once per use. When you use this skill with an enemy insight level 3 effect, it will consume the effect, dispel a buff from multiple targets, and grant Saiga the Calculated Shots effect. Calculated Shots lasts for 30 seconds and does not stack. Saiga has the standard mana caster core ability, Gauge Accelerator, which decreases the mod gauge by 20% faster. His chain core ability gives team members a 10% water rest buff when their combo count is 10 or higher. His first ability, Know Thine Enemy, makes use of the enemy insight effect and also explains the Calculated Shots buff. When the enemy insight level 3 effect is active, it will increase the amount Saiga's next Force Strike lowers the mod gauge by a whopping 300%. If you use this powered up Force Strike, it will consume the enemy insight buff though. The Calculated Shots buff increases the power and critical rate of standard attacks by 10%, while also increasing the rate his skill gauges fill by 10%. Saiga is a freeze res unit, and he gets a 13% strength buff when his HP are at 70% or above. Saiga has a pretty interesting kit, and his shared skill could, if my theory is correct, have some mad value for Stormlash units. Since enemy insight level 3 is a unique level based buff, it will be safe from nihility. I wouldn't be so sure about the Calculated Shots effect, but Cygames just pretty much randomly decides which unique buffs are safe and which are not, so this might as well be good to go too. Overall, I think Saiga is a good addition to the Wind roster, and having to decide what you want to use the enemy insight effect for is placing some strategic aspects onto him, which I really like. Is he a must-have? I don't think so, but honestly, what is nowadays anyway? He looks cool, and that's more compelling reason to summon, at least for me. And I also want to have all mana casters, so I guess I will have to spend a bit on this banner. But the other reason why I want to summon is something I will talk about after gently asking you to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. We're super close to 10 billion subscribers, and I would love to reach that goal very soon. Now let's talk about Armored Yachiyo, which not only looks beautiful, but also has a super interesting kit. She is a Flame Blade unit with a unique Force Strike. Her first skill, Peerless Eternity, activates the Peerless Flourish buff. This effect powers up her next 3 Force Strikes and makes her deal more damage to Scorch Rend enemies. This buff does not stack and should not get killed by nihility, since Force Strike enhancing buffs are usually safe from the curse. Armored Yachiyo's second skill, Blossom Dance, deals several hits to the enemy, dealing up to 2314% damage if all hits connect. It inflicts Scorch Rend and grants her knockback immunity for 15 seconds. It is also her shareable skill with a skill cost of 5. She has the standard Blade core ability, which increases strength by 10%. Her Chainco ability grants an 8% wind resistance buff whenever a unit inflicts Scorch Rend on the enemy, but will not activate again for 10 seconds after doing so. Now, her first ability, Unrelenting Blade, is where Yachiyo's kit gets interesting. For every 15 seconds that go by without Yachiyo being knocked back by the enemy, she gets a 20% strength buff. This can stack up to 3 times, meaning she could get a 60% strength buff if she does not get knocked back. This will probably be really difficult to maintain, because once she does get knocked back, she will lose the buffs. Using her second skill will help with this though. Unrelenting Blade also grants Yachiyo a unique Force Strike with 2 charges, which also dispels the buff on the enemy when the combo count is 15 or higher. Since charging this up might enable the enemy to hit Yachiyo, she is immune to knockback while charging her Force Strike, therefore keeping her strength buff safe. Yachiyo is a stun res unit, and her third ability increases her Force Strike damage by 50%. Yachiyo seems like a beast, to be honest, and Legend Volk's Overdrive bar is currently looking for a safe place to hide. I feel like this poor fella will get destroyed when an Armored Yachiyo and Gala Leonidas are on the field, but that's just a theory so far. Overall, I really like her kit, and if played right, she could probably deal some nice damage. So basically, this means she has a good kit and she just looks so cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to spend some summoning resources to try and get her. Also on the banner on raid up is Gala Leif, a Windsword unit with an interesting stance mechanic. It's a bit complex to see through all of his abilities, but once you've got it down, he's a really strong unit. Sadly, some of his stance buffs get killed by the Curse of Nihility, but that doesn't make him completely unviable in the Dominion fights. In Mercury and Ciela he is a pretty good unit to use though. With Gala Zephyr you can get a really good Wind Dragon on this banner, probably one of the best. I feel like people are still not sure if Gala Zephyr or Mid-Zero are better, so I personally am fine with just having Mid-Zero, and I would say so could you. If you don't have either of them, this might be a good chance to pick Zephyr up. If you want to know more about Zephyr, I talked about him back when he was released, the link is in the top right corner right now. And well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to hit that button like I want Orthodox to hit my butt very hard. Tell me in the comments below what you think about these units, and I would also like to know who your favorite character from Hinemoto is. If you want to brag about your pulls, you can do so in our Discord, the link is in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!